Do you have anything you've kind of emphasized this week with your guys?
Yeah, a lot of things with the defense, but a lot of things in emphasis, and Coach Stefanski does a great job about shared situational awareness. I heard him just say it a second ago, and that's critical downs. So we got to perform better understanding when it's third or fourth down, get off the field downs. And so that's been an emphasis, understanding what they're trying to do to us in those situations, be it man pick routes, regardless of the coverage that we're in, but understanding what the offense is trying to do and challenging the chains better. So that's one thing. Third down, we got to shorten the time we're on the field. We've been really resilient. Long drives, like the first drive last week. We fought. We got a ball tipped in the air. We got an interception. That was awesome. So our guys have that part. But we got to get off the field quicker.
And it's going to be, sounds like it's going to be really windy on Sunday. Do your guys almost like think, oh, we might get some picks today?
Well, one thing we pride ourselves on is we're going to attack the ball. And, you get a grade each play as a player. If you had a chance at attacking the ball and you turn that down, that's really not a good grade. That's not us. We've been outstanding at that. Every chance you get, it's shots on goal. There's only one ball on the field, so we gotta go get after it. We don't control the conditions, but this is football as you get in the middle of the year in the NFL, and conditions are going to be what they are. And whatever comes out in our stadium, we're going to be excited to find out what that is.
Thank you.
Thank you, Marla. Scott Petrick has our next question.
Hey, Coach, it looked like Mack played more in some nickel last week. How do you think he did?
He improved. He had a really good red zone series on one of the series where we held them to a field goal. He made a really strong tackle on the sideline and then was really good in coverage the next two plays. So getting more comfortable, rolling in more, definitely. We have a competition in the linebacker room. All our guys are fighting for playing time, and we had a good week of practice. He did a nice job. He probably had his best week of practice of feeling routes and how they develop, because it is a feel. And he's just continuing to work. Been impressed with what he did this week in practice, and we're excited to watch him play on Sunday.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. Next up is Nate Ulrich.
Hey, Coach. What makes Waller special, and how do you guys slow him down?
He's got incredible length, speed, hands, and can drop his weight and make cuts for a taller player. They do a nice job where they move him everywhere. And so for us, it's going to be the whole defensive team. What I mean by that is we're going to change the matchups, change the calls, and we have, you got to know where he is in the formation. And then it's the mix of the calls that'll help us deal with him.
Thanks, Nate. Next up is Dan Lobby.
Hey, Coach. We ask you about the young guys all the time, but we don't ask you about Malcolm Smith, I don't think, very often. But what has he kind of brought to you guys?
Malcolm is the ultimate compliment in the NFL because this season's a marathon, not a sprint. And you've probably heard that one before, but he's the same every day. And that is the ultimate compliment. He is smart. He is quick. He is the ultimate pro. He's always working on his footwork. For a linebacker, it's really important to be able to keep your hips down, your feet apart, to be in power positions when you move, be it in the run or the pass game. He's working that constantly. He takes some of our younger players after practice and puts them through drills that he's seen done, that we do together, or he's seen done to help them with their body position. Can't say enough about what he's meant. And then his position flexibility. He's played everything for us. And doesn't mind, always ready to go. Same every day. Can't ask for it. I hope I'm the same every day to the players as he is to us.
I mean, do you always see that from veteran guys being willing to take younger guys under their wings, or is that sometimes just a different sort of guy?
He's such a good person, and first and foremost, and a great player in addition to that. And to be able to be that unselfish and lend yourself to the team, to pick up a player like Malcolm is just amazing where he got it. So there's a lot of guys that I've been fortunate enough to be around in the NFL that are that way. Malcolm's at the top of the list.
Thanks.
Thank you, Dan. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot next.
Hey, Coach, I know sometimes some of these sort of scheme tweaks take place during actually the bye week, but now that you guys kind of know that most of the sacks are coming from Miles and that you're going to need to get some disruption elsewhere, and maybe you could even do it in this game, but do you feel like, you have the horses, the personnel to try to, get some of that pressure or disruption from your guys and elsewhere? And do you need to kind of overhaul this?
Well, I think in this scheme, our D line gets to take off and go as fast as they can, and that helps our linebackers read, run, pass, and helps our secondary. So rush and coverage works together. I think that the other part about this scheme, and you're starting to see it a little more and more, like I'll give you a hard example, is the one where we sacked the quarterback last week in the red zone with a slightly different look. The other part about this scheme is everybody does get a turn to blitz, and we're finding out who can do that and who's better at it, and then allowing them to have more chances. So without giving everything away that we're going to do, everybody gets a turn, and the better you are at rushing, the more you rush. And the D linemen get the most turns, of course. And in the system, they're allowed to go fast. And we'll see hopefully some more things as we go through this weekend.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Mary Kay. Nate Ulrich.
And Coach Stefanski said that he expects Miles to be able to handle his full workload on Sunday. So just as a member of the defensive staff, is that a relief when you find out Myles Garrett's good to go?
I mean, you're always. It was good to see Miles today, working hard at practice. So, yeah, I mean, we love seeing everybody. I mean, everybody gets a turn. Everybody's done a great job of being resilient, and I know you've heard it from Coach. Everybody's done a good job of being resilient on this team, and we really believe, and most importantly, the players believe it's next man up no matter what. I mean, we've been great at not batting an eye, jumping on and going. So yeah, it's awesome to have him, of course. But we're gonna fight. We're gonna put our 11 and whatever 11 are on. They're all starters to us.
Thank you, Nate. Scott Petrick.
Hey, Coach. BJ Goodson has played a bunch of snaps for you, even in passing situations. And I think he gets kind of defensive when he gets asked about how he never did or didn't do that much earlier in his career. So how have you seen him in that nickel role?
BJ has done a great job for us of communicating and getting everybody lined up. And he's improved. He's gotten better and better at his zone drops. He has not played exactly in this system yet in his career until this year. And there's some really good examples of him improving. He's a warrior. He's another one. He's just resilient. So he just keeps going. And it doesn't matter what happens on the drive before. He fixes it. He moves on. So that part's been impressive. We do use all our linebackers. So you'll continue to see us mix based on situations and different based on what opponents are doing too by their personnel that they put on the field. So last week, because of some of their tempo, BJ stayed on, a little bit more in some of those situations, but we're comfortable with all our guys in those situations.
Thank you.
Thank you, Scott. We'll go to Mary Kay Cabot. This will be our last question for Coach Tarver.
Yeah, Coach, just in studying up a little bit on Derek Carr, he is taking, it seems to be more shots downfield this season, and yet his interceptions are very minimal, 2 interceptions so far this season. So, what is he doing so well that's making it so difficult to pick him off?
Well, they have good weapons. They have good size and good speed, and they use their players to the best of their ability, which is, you heard from me the last time that I spoke here, the number one rule coming out of Coach Bill Walsh and a bunch of us were trained out of that system. And Coach Gruden, of course, was as well, and their staff, Coach Olson, who's outstanding, know your personnel and use your personnel. So they've gotten faster on the outside, and they scheme up ways so that they can create those mismatches downfield and matchups. So obviously we just said it, our rush and our coverage working together, and we want to play top-down coverage. So taking it back to us, because that's what it's about. We got to recognize those formational keys, and we got to make sure we're top-down and take away the touchdown, force the check down, and go rally and get after that check down when it happens. So I think that's within the offense, and that's something that that they've emphasized this year.